I have not said anything about the garden in a very long time. In fact, I think the last time I really talked about the plants was when I was doing my cold frames and starting my seeds inside. So it's been a very long time. So I thought I'd give you a quick update on how things are growing. You may recall from one of my previous videos that I did like over the winter that I have never really been into gardening before, like at all. I've always been the animal person. I've read so much about animals and studied about animals and done things with animals, and I've been like, gardening's just not really my thing. But this year I decided to give it a try and I'm sort of falling in love with it. So let's just do a little garden tour this morning and I'll show you what's growing and what's ready to harvest, what we've been eating, and what I'm planting for later fall harvest. All right, so here we go. All right, so in this bed here, we have some cilantro, which we haven't used too much of yet, but I think I'm gonna make some salsa today, which this is perfect for. It smells so good. And then we have some beets here, which we really need to harvest because they are ready. Yeah, look at these buggers. That is gonna be a good beet. And I planted 3 different varieties of beets, so I have the red beets that are like this, and then I have golden beets, and what's this here? We got a monster over here. I have some of the striped ones too, so on the inside there'll be those pretty pink and white stripes. Then we have carrots here. These have been growing really well. In the past, when my Dad has planted carrots, we haven't done a very good job of thinning them, so they were always really small. But this year, I was very careful how I planted them and thinned them out and spaced them out a little bit, and they're pretty good size. You can see them growing down in here. We've been harvesting them when we need them for dinner, so they're pretty good. Let's see. We got sort of a funny looking one. Okay, and then next to them we have the onions. These guys are pretty much ready to harvest, which I'm going to be doing, especially these red ones. Yeah, they're all flopped over. You can see the tops are flopped, which means they are ready and done. So I'm going to be taking these out of the ground and curing them here, probably today. That seems like a good today project. And over here we have our cabbage that's growing, some red cabbage. It's getting eaten a little bit, but it's not too bad. Leeks, which I have not really grown leeks before, but these are ones that I started inside here that are a little bit bigger, and then these little thin ones were ones that I planted, just direct seeded out. So we'll see if they finish up getting big. And then here we had, in this gap, we had our kale. We had some kale growing, but we ate it all. We made it into kale chips last week, which is just so delicious. So highly recommend kale chips. But now I'm going to be planting more kale because I want more kale chips. Then we have some green cabbage here. And this is where I planted all of my greens and pak choi earlier this spring. So now I'm just replanting it with some things. So I think I put just a few beets in there. Yeah, I'm going to do some different root veggies over here, some turnips, some things that won't take too long and they'll get done before winter sets in. Oh, whoops. This isn't good. I planted beets last, when did I plant those? Friday? It's Monday. And I left the seeds outside. I'm going to have to plant these because they're not going to save. They got all wet. So I'm going to have a lot of beets this fall. All right, and then we have some like green bunching onions here. And I planted some herbs over here. So we have thyme and oregano. So fun. And then basil, which our basil has been doing so well. We just made a ton of pesto last week. I really got to prune this back already, guys. This flower is so fast. You got to stay on it. All right. And then we have hot peppers here. which are growing very well. I think I have like hot rods, and I have some jalapenos. And some like habaneros. I can't remember which ones are which, but they're growing. And then down here we have more bell peppers. So they're still nice and green. We're not getting any colored peppers anytime soon here, but they're looking good. These are all the ones that we started inside. So they grew. It worked. All right, and then I have just some lettuce here, which I need to harvest. This is Coastal Star Romaine. It was very hot, but it did pretty well. It's not a completely nice, beautiful head, but it'll be delicious. And then green beans, which we've been harvesting a ton of. I don't know if there's too many left. I'm going to be planting some more beans here. Oh, there's a few. Got a few beans. Few beans left on there. And over in here, I had peas climbing this trellis, but I just took them out. They were done. I'd like to replant peas, but I don't think I have any seeds, so I might have to order some more seeds up. And then we also had some root veggies in here, so turnips. What else did I have in here? Radishes, I think. Yeah, that's pretty much that. All right, and then we have this bed has sage in it, so my sage plants are getting nice and big. I'm excited to dry some herbs here. And then this is all potatoes, white potatoes, or yellow potatoes, light colored potatoes. And then down on this bed is the red potatoes, which are flopping over. So we're definitely ready to start harvesting some potatoes. Oh no, one's poking out. Well, that one's not going to work. You can't eat green potatoes. Not a good idea. So that little bugger is not going to be going to our dinner table. And as we follow this bed, this down here was unfortunate. Now we've got some weeds down here I need to pull out. I don't know what this is, but I need to get rid of it. But it's sort of an interesting looking plant. But I tried to plant parsley down in here. I think there's one plant of parsley, guys. Like right here. See? There's some parsley. I tried to plant this in parsley, but it was where my dad had planted horseradish before, and the horseradish just came back. I thought I had gotten it all out with the roots, so just a warning. Horseradish takes over everything, so be careful with it. This is just empty that I'm going to plant here. Probably maybe some green beans will go here. And then I planted some celery, which I haven't looked at too much. I've always heard celery is sort of tricky. I don't know if that's going to work too well. Tomatillos, which I have never cooked with or used. I just had grown some starts for a friend, and now I have tomatillos. So I don't even know when these guys are ready to harvest or what to do with them. So I will have to research that. And over here we have our raspberries, which raspberry season is pretty much done, unfortunately. I loved coming out here to snack on those. And then we have more weeds in here, which I need to deal with. Probably plant something there. These are our sweet potatoes. So they're still crawling along. Sweet potato vines, nice and small. Down here we just have a couple plants of sweet corn. Oh wow, they're really starting to grow. They're pretty small. In all honesty, I like to eat sweet corn once or twice a summer, but it's not like my favorite thing, and so I just sort of stuck this down here and didn't really pay much attention to it. But it does seem small and short and not the healthiest compared to my popcorn. Speaking of popcorn, we'll head that direction. Even though I don't really like sweet corn, I love popcorn. So the popcorn looks really, really good. Here we have the popcorn. I've never grown popcorn before. It's starting to tassel up there on the top. And we got little things here. Oh, I'm so excited, guys. This is going to be great. So yeah, this garden has turned into a bit of a jungle. We used to have raised beds in here, just like over here, but they were rotting out, and so I decided to just do 30-inch beds with 12-inch walkways. And yeah, it's turned into craziness. So we have popcorn down this row and some tomatoes on these trellises down here, which I need to do a better job on my tomato management next year. But we just have them clipped up here to these trellises. We're starting to get some tomatoes. Oh, that one's getting eaten by something. Half of my tomatoes are over at the Red Barn garden. And those ones are the ones that were bigger and healthier and are already producing really well. These ones are just starting to turn red. And over here we have cucumbers. Oh, this one is ready to come out there. We have been making so many refrigerator pickles. The cucumbers just keep coming. So refrigerator pickles, cucumber tomato salad, slicing and eating egg salad on it. Eat a lot of cucumbers. I'm not going to really walk down there because it is sort of hard to get down there. But over here, yes, we have our cucumbers on this trellis, and thinning things is really hard for me. So I tried to thin out these squash, but I still think I crowded them too much because I didn't want to pull out my wonderful plants. But yeah, definitely something I need to get better at. But look we got some sunshine squash in. We got quite a few, actually. These orange squash. Isn't that so fun? Got a lot of them hiding back in there. And these squash, I mean, I have never actually grown them, but when I've got them from the store, they are just so delicious. So we have a row of that. We have a row of butternut squash too, which the butternut squash just isn't really growing that great. I don't know why. The sunshine is just taking off, and I don't know if it's just taken over the butternut squash or what. So we'll see. And then we also have some pumpkins. That's a pumpkin. And that's a pumpkin. Down here to the tomatoes, we have more varieties of tomatoes starting to turn. Ooh. Starting to get some color to them. They're going to be so good. Oh, I'm so excited. I love tomatoes. And back to the popcorn. Ooh, that one that might be ready to pick down there. Oh, wow, look at this. Is that a pumpkin that's crawling on this? Tomatoes? Yeah, this garden is a little crazy. And last but not least, I didn't really share this when I was down here, but we have zucchini. So some zucchini there. And that's pretty much it for the garden. So nothing too crazy. Like I said, we have about 35 more tomato plants over at our other barn. But most of the garden is here. I'm really excited to start planting some more fall crops. So I'm going to be getting some more lettuce in, some more green beans, beets, turnips, rutabaga, which I'm a little bit late on, but we're going to try it anyways, and kale, Swiss chard. Yeah, sort of all those things. So getting some more rotations in the ground. We're going to get the onions out, the potatoes out. It's so fun. It's so fun. Well, thank you for watching my little garden tour. It is a beautiful morning, a great morning to be out here. I hope that you have an amazing day and that your garden is growing well too.